Hey guys, and welcome back to Trials and Tribulations. On the last part, we started the trial, that thing. And we're getting testimony from, Victor. Jeez, I'm off my game. But anyway, the young man was reading the sports paper. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. He was reading the sports paper. Hold it. Do that now. So you saw the victim then. You saw Mr. Glenn Elg. I wanted to know if Guts and Brawn retained his championship or not. So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question, there are partitions between the tables on... There are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right? So what if there are? If you say that you could see the victim, that means you were sitting at a table on the other side of the restaurant, correct? Gah! I go to that place to drink Javachino. I don't go to sit. I don't remember what table I was sitting at. You mean you go there to eye the waitress? The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. What did she put in it? I bet it was sugar. Mr. Kudo, that is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw? Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I. I see. My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving. I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress. And I saw what the servant girl put in the Javachino as well. I bet I know what's coming up, and something tells me I'm not gonna like it. Let's press harder anyway. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask the witness and what he... Wait, I'd like to ask the witness... Just add what you know to the testimony, jeez. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. She put crack in his coffee. Did she really put that in the coffee? Do you doubt me, boy? She took out a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in. Couldn't she have been adding sugar? Sugar in a small brown bottle like that? Like that? Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? A bottle like this, perhaps? Oh, there it is. That's the one. That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume? So what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Arg. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. He took just one sip? You youngins, you waste everything. Those Javachinos cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop, eaten the cup, and then died. Okay. Congratulations. You've earned the title of battiest man to grace a courtroom. So it was an immediate death? Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible. Oh yes, he slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the Javachino I just drank turn sour in my stomach. Oh geez, you know, actually, that's a good point. Jeez. Oh yes, I know that feeling. And the waitress? I presume she is? That's the servant girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is. Sorry. You can see all the way up to her, you know. She's practically naked in that uniform. So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit. But anyone could wear such a uniform, even me! Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. Don't get all excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. Gah, there are other things I recognize about her, too. He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Press harder. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress is Maggie Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask that you add them to your testimony. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair, and her apron straps were loose. That's it? Alright. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all, her face? Kah, as if I wouldn't remember that. Objection. The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. I don't think the straps will have anything to do with it. How about the waitress's back? The identifying features you described are all things that you would see from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is a harassment! I tell you I'm not obsessed with straps and ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Smack. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure, sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. And if I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. I can see the comments already. Anyway, there wasn't anything about her that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. I know what to present. You didn't find anything to be distinct, but you did clearly see the waitress's face, yes? No question about it. I didn't come this far to back down now. Victor Kudo never backs down. That's not the answer I was looking for, but okay. This has turned into a matter of pride for old CD now, I guess. I wonder if he really did see Maggie's face or not. Like I thought, we need some concrete proof of this. Proof that the old guy didn't see the waitress clearly from the front. Do you think old CD really saw Maggie do it? Well, he probably had his eye on the waitress the whole time. That's why he was there. But he was there for the cute outfits, right? Not the waitress. I guess. She makes a good point, though. Hey, did I just say something clever? I wonder if the waitress Mr. Kudo saw really was Maggie. That's what we have to figure out, Nick. Yeah. I know how to do it. All right, sports paper, Javatino. Remember that. Okay. Sorry. The apron.
Objection!
Kaboom. Apron finger point. Man, it's been a long time since I said that. Unless I had been saying that before. I forgot if I did. Mr. Kudo, I'd like you to please take a look at this. God, that filthy thing would suit a filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot. But what? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron. This is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops. Wow. Smack. Witness! You can't just oops your... Oh, yeah. You can't just oops your way out of this. Well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Epic coffee drink! Listen, Wright, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say, you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot a burger a customer wanted. Okay, Whatever you say, dude. He can't remember. Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out. Smack! Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. Yay. Let's do it. He was none of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javachino. The little fidget picked it up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. His picked it up the cup. Jeez. The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types more who are so vague about everything. How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up? Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best. Cross-examination about the victim. Let's do it. He was none of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. There. Spectacles? Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses was green, but the other was broken. Newfangled rubbish. That's why I remember him so well. He did have some kind of lens over his left eye. It's a scouter! But I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses. He seems to have been wearing some rather modern-looking shades. Perhaps I should take it to wearing some and rival Mr. Godo's sharp appearance. Oh, we better come up with something sharp and quick. I guess I'll wait and see if I should challenge him about the spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The newspaper was a sports paper, was it? That young hooligan, I nearly asked him, can't you even read without fidgeting? How was I supposed to be able to read the back page with all that rustling going on? I need to find out if Grutz Braun retained his championship title. It was his paper, not yours. If you wanted to know so bad, why didn't you buy your own? What are you looking at me like that for? How dare you judge me? Ow, ow! Grutz Braun got beaten yesterday, by the way. Anyway. Stop throwing seeds in my eyes. Jeez. Anyway, the young man was listening to the wireless. Remember that well? Yeah. Tell me about that stupid wireless. The wireless? The decadent young rascal. In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless. Oh, boy. And using an earpiece. It's selfish. That's what it is. I was straining my ears and I couldn't catch any... Wow. Oh, that's pretty good. Was he that desperate to listen to the radio? What are you looking at me like that for? How dare you feel sorry for me? Ow, ow. My face. Seeds. Oh, no. I am being pelted with sesame seeds. I shall never recover from these grievous wounds. Anyway, then the serving girl brought the questioning Javachino over to the person. I didn't read that right. You mean the waitress who you only saw from behind, right? You're one of those, are you? You never let anything go, isn't that right? Maybe. What does it matter if I saw her from the front or behind? My eyes don't lie. Ow, ow. I better not push it until I've got some hard evidence. Alright, the little fidget picked up the little coffee and just took a sip. His free hand? Yes. Which hand was that? Weren't you listening before, cloth ears? I said he was rustling the newspaper with his right hand, didn't I? If his free hand wasn't his right hand, which hand isn't, you moron? Ow, ow. Perhaps the great Mr. Wright has 3 hands. Epic coffee drink. Yeesh, I was only asking. No need to gang up on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. That this old guy's memory is more holes than a slice of Swiss. I guess we need to find out a contradiction in his testimony somewhere, huh? Anything will do. Even the smallest detail. We just need one mistake and he's ours. I was about to say we just need to make one mistake. Alright. Let's see. Present. I'm gonna look at the court record. Let's see. Sports paper. Okay, left by the victim. That doesn't really say anything. Is there anything else that we have? Job listings, lunch special, scooter. Not really. We got the coffee cup. Okay, that's it. I got it. Alright, let's see. Yep, here we go. Check this out. I bet half of you don't even know what I'm doing. Epic finger point! Mr. Kudo. Do you remember what you were told? Do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory? I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you. Nothing! If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. Care to tell us where this is going, Wright? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. Ha! What is this? Kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. He was wearing a copious amount of lipstick. Don't know why, but he was. Yes, there's a stain left by the coffee. Oh, it's coffee. Okay, fine. It was... Shut up. If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand, epic finger point. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Arg! Smack. Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he came from. Wait! Oh. I thought I was gonna... If you think I'm gonna stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony? That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh, yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. If you've seen that movie. Whew. It's that dead young hotbot and you spiky-haired yahoo, who are at fault. Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure, why not hear a little more? Mr. Kudo! Epic coffee drink. This is my 16th cup of coffee. So this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. Alright. Oh, boy. Left hand or right hand? Okay, I'm not making that joke. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the... Wait. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It's a small computer monitor often used by programmers. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool for the victim's line of work. HDTV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth. It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying. Those are the facts, the good old black and white. Or in good old black and white, whatever. Left hand or right hand? Okay, so... Next time on Trials and Tribulations, we will continue with the testimony. So, I'll see you guys then.